Hi there YouTube, this is Mitch. I'm just gonna film this little video today about this Dendrobium Spring Dream Kumiko that's blooming for me. It's kind of a cold day out here. We got a lot of snow here on the west coast, so everything is frozen, but inside there's things blooming, so it's nice and warm and makes me think about spring. And well, this one is called Spring Dream. So so this is a Dendrobium nobile type of orchid. It is very easy to grow actually and bloom. Some of these are kind of tricky, but this one, it grows like very easily for me. And last year it bloomed for me 3 different times. So has a really nice color to it. I love the little pink tinge. I love how the lip is a circle all around the column, and it has like this nice purpley color deep inside there, and it smells amazing. And literally this is one of the easiest orchids I have to grow. I bought it like 3-4 years ago, and it blooms 2 to 3 times a year every year without me doing anything really special. I leave it outside on my patio in the summertime, and usually what happens is I put it out in the spring when the temperatures are still kind of cool. Like, I live on the west coast, so it's always kind of mild. Actually, I've left this one out almost all year round for a few years, to be honest with you. I only bring it in if it's going to be frosty. And what happened this year is we had a little bit of a cold snap, and then yeah, it started to put out all its buds. So today's February 5th and it's in full bloom, but probably if I had left it out in the cooler temperatures, it would have taken longer for the buds to form and it would have started blooming in the spring. But I mean, I don't mind that it's blooming now, to be honest with you. It's nice to have a big, beautiful, highly scented orchid blooming on your windowsill when it's like cold and snowy outside, as you can see. So at least it's sunny today. Anyway, like I said, usually what happens is I put it when it's out in the spring and we get those cool nights, and then the days start to warm up, then usually it starts to bud up. And then again in the fall, when the temperatures kind of dip low in the nighttime and then warm in the day, it'll bud up. And a few times in the summer, it's just randomly shot out flowers. And then usually, like this year, when I bring it in and it's warm inside, but it's been cool outside, then it'll shoot out a whole bunch of buds as well. So it grows on these long sticks, like little canes, and you can see where it bloomed here the last time. So hopefully I can get this to focus. Anyway, right here you can kind of see all the old little flower stalks from the last time it bloomed. And actually what I do is like this one still has a few blooms, but after this blooming, I'm pretty sure that this whole stick will not bloom again. So what I will do is cut the stick off, the little cane, and then wash it, like get all these little bloom sheath remnants off. I'll use a little scrubby and scrub it off, and then I'll cut it into little segments about, 6 inches long in between these little nodes. Like, these are little nodes, so I usually cut in between there, and I'll have little sections of cane, and I'll put them somewhere warm and say like some moss, and actually they will start to grow new little orchids, and then I usually give them away or sell them, because this is literally one of the best Dendrobium nobiles that I've ever grown. Some of them are a little bit tricky, I find, because they do need a prolonged dry, cool spell, which is kind of hard to give them in the west coast here, because it's usually cold and rainy, so I have to keep them sheltered usually. And if it gets too cold, I find sometimes they get little spots on the leaves, like black spots, and then I know it's the temperatures haven't been good for them. So I actually do have some here that I'm propagating. So these are some canes that I did this week actually. I chopped them all up and put them in this Tupperware. Actually, I did this the lazy way because I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it. And actually, I have some Ludizia dicolor canes in there too. But anyway, I just threw those in there because it's nice and warm and wet, and put it in a nice bright place where it gets sun, but it doesn't get too hot. And actually, as you can see, I put a little plant on top of it because this little Dendrobium kingianum is starting to shoot out a flower spike there. So it's hard to get this to focus. Anyway, it'll grow eventually. Every summer I usually get 2 or 3 little plants. So what else can I say about this plant? Well, it's very beautiful. I love how it's always covered in flowers. Like, I don't know if you guys ever look online. There's some really good Dendrobium nobile sellers out there, and they always have these really perfect pictures of the canes all covered in flowers. And with other Dendrobium nobile orchids, I've had trouble getting them to look like that, but this one is perfect. Every year it does this, and it's just so rewarding. So it kind of makes growing orchids really fun and makes you feel like, you know, it's something. Everybody thinks they're really tricky, but when you get a plant that works for you and likes your growing conditions like this, it's really, really rewarding. And I mean, who wouldn't enjoy looking at that in their window every morning? So anyway, because it's been brought inside, I noticed the other day, you can see here where I cut those other little stems off, and then here you can see there's some new little buds starting to come up. So those will be the new growths in the spring. So that's getting at least 2. I'm hoping it'll get some more, because then those canes will mature and then they'll bloom the next cycle. Obviously these canes, they are blooming a lot right now, but they will rebloom and at the nodes where it hasn't bloomed yet. So I usually leave them until they look more like this cane, where every node has had a little flower stalk. And I do leave them sometimes just because they do give energy to the plant. But like I said, usually if there's too many of them, like there was 2 other ones that I just cut off last week, I usually just cut them off so that I can grow some more plants, and kind of forces the plant to shoot out some new growths for me. So yeah, anyway, that's that plant. So I highly recommend it. If you ever see it around, Dendrobium Spring Dream Kumiko, then I would buy it like in a second. In fact, if I ever saw another one of these plants, I would buy it just so I could have, you know, another big mama plant like this. Anyway, I guess there's this other one here too. Path Insigne is blooming right now. It's a really nice plant. This one is really hard to bloom. I may as well mention that. I've had this one for 10 years, and every couple of years it shoots out a flower. But you know, I would really like it. It's a big plant, and it would be really nice to have like more than 1 flower. I've only had it bloom with 2 once in like the 10 years that I've had it. So anyway, if anyone has some tips or tricks, then send me a message and let me know. Yeah, so anyway, that's it for that. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, just send me a message or comment below, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Okay, bye.